What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, the car is down again. The car has been down like 2 weeks, so I'm sorry for these past couple weeks I haven't filmed anything. Yeah, as you guys can tell, man, those are the old brake lines, and we had a little scare. I was headed home from work, and you know, I went to press on the brakes and I lost completely all the brakes. I actually rolled through the stoplight because I couldn't stop myself. I downshifted as fast as I could, pulled the e-brake, and I was able to pull over the car. So I for sure thought the master cylinder went out on this car because, you know, this car is 25 years old, and we're gonna get into why I'm not mad at the car for it. But I thought the master cylinder went out just because I literally just changed all these lines to braided lines, and the brakes are new. You guys know I did the Cobra upgrade, and I was like, master cylinder went out, or a line popped or something like that. I went around the car, checked all 4 corners. I couldn't find no brake fluid anywhere. I looked underneath the car, I couldn't find it anywhere. So I ended up getting it back to the shop, and I'll be posting up all these pictures, but I ended up getting back to the shop, and it was one line that was busted. You guys can see this is the brake caliper one. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was this one. You guys can see right here. I'll post up some pictures, but right now it's still wet just from the fluid that's came out of it. So these lines were just so rusty, man. Look at this one, so corroded and bad. So yeah, man, these lines were so rusted and much needed for an upgrade. So I had to go ahead and order some new ones, and come to find out, man, that these cars, they're not all the same. Like 94 to 98, they should be the same for the brake lines. They're not. Ford did them all specifically. So if you guys are ever going to buy brake lines for your car, please keep that in mind. Please make sure that they're the same year, because this job was not fun. I did it all myself. My pops came and helped me out on a couple of lines, but the lines run from the ABS all the way up to the proportional valve, and some of the lines go to the brake lines themselves. So the fact that they weren't the right size, I was having to bend and stuff like that, and I'm gonna show you guys, they didn't fit correctly back in the right location, but they're not rubbing on anything and they're not in the way of anything. It's just bothering my OCD that they're not fitting right back into those clips, and I'm gonna show you guys. Shout out my boy Juan. I put on Instagram that I wanted to buy a creeper, and he went ahead and copped one for the shop. This is like, I should have bought this thing years ago, man. I've always been on a cardboard rolling around on my back, but yeah, as you guys can see, these are the brake lines. This is the clip that they should go in. Hopefully you guys can see, but all of them were lined up, running around here, coming around here, going up and going into the ABS, as you guys can tell. It looks like I have a little leak. I hope I don't. But yeah, so this is one of the lines that goes to the brake line, all the ABS lines, and then they go up to the proportional valve up there. So you see how they all run against the frame rail, and right there. So yeah, they all don't fit back in their correct spot, just because they're different sizes, like I said. And I wanted to tell you guys, man, I kind of got frustrated while doing the brake lines. I look down here, and you guys can see I have a massive leak from my power steering, which is not a massive leak because it's not dripping on the ground yet, but it definitely has to be addressed. And you guys can tell, look at these power steering lines right here. And where's the other one? Right here. It's all the way corroded like the brake line. So the last thing I want for one of these lines to bust, and then we're out of out of power steering. So yeah, we're gonna have to change these lines. Hopefully it's just the lines that's making the rack leak and not the rack itself. So yeah, guys, we're gonna have to do that. Pretty shitty situation that I was in, and I'm glad I finally got it done, man. I put all the lines back in, tightened them up to the ABS, and everything was good. I knew I was gonna have to bleed everything because I had the freaking lines off from the master cylinder. So I tried bleeding them from the master cylinder itself first. I ended up getting all the air out of there, and then I went to the back and tried to get the air out of there, and the fluid was just not coming out. So I was hoping that the proportional valve wasn't stuck, which I thought it was. I was trying to do the 2-person method where I cracked the bleeder and someone presses on the pedal. My girlfriend was trying to help me out, but she couldn't help me out. So I appreciate you though, babe. So but I ended up doing this, and all you guys, please make one of these, man. Please. This thing was so easy, so fast. I literally bled all 4 corners within like 15 minutes. And that's because I was trial and error one of these. This is a one-man bleeder. All you do is hook this up, you loosen the bleeder valve on the brakes, and you pump the pedal like 3 or 4 times, and all the air gets trapped at the top of the tube. So if you guys have not used one of these, look up online how to make a one-person bleeder. But basically this is a 3/16 hose. It's about 2 feet long. I got it from AutoZone. It was like $4. And then this is just a regular Sprite bottle. I drilled a hole big enough for this, but tight enough where it doesn't come out easily, and then just a little breather hole. And man, this thing works crazy. So the pedal is harder than it's ever been before. So I think I had air in the lines even when I did the Cobra brake. So I'm really excited to get these wheels and tires back on. We're gonna go take a test drive with the new brakes, and I think the brakes are gonna surprise me. So yeah, man, if you guys haven't done one of this, please do this. This was a freaking lifesaver. I'm so happy I did this. But yeah, man, let's go take this thing for a test drive. I'm super excited. Let's get it, boys. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to hold you guys in one hand because I was too excited to get to the shop and fix the car today that I forgot my mount. So another thing I want to update you guys on, I think I told you guys, or I told Instagram, but I had a little vibration around 70 miles an hour. So I didn't know if it was my U-joints or something. So I went ahead and got my tires and wheels rebalanced, and they were out of balance. So well, let's hope that that was the vibration. So we have a couple things we're testing today, and we actually removed the sway bar. Yeah guys, we removed the sway bar because we don't need that where we're going, and weight reduction. Alright, so we're in 3rd gear right now. I didn't bring my radar detector so we don't have our speed, but oh yeah, we're good, boys. We're golden. She's stopping. She's stopping. So I don't feel any vibration either, and the car doesn't feel bad without a sway bar, honestly. A lot of people told me, including my pops, that it's gonna feel all over the place, but it doesn't feel bad. I'm having to shift and drive with one hand. Oh, I forgot. The car was dying too. The car had a problem where I was coming to a stop, and the car was shutting off when I put my foot on the clutch when it's trying to go back to idle. So I was thinking it was either the bad gas, you know, from being old since last December, making its way through the lines and stuff, or I was thinking that my idle air control valve went out. So it doesn't do it all the time, so I think it's just dirty. Hold on, let me get this thing in the 3rd. It doesn't do it all the time, so I think it's just dirty. So don't film and drive, guys. This thing feels good, man. I can tell a little bit of sway because of no sway bar, but it's not as bad as you guys think it would be. And the brakes feel fantastic, man. I'm super excited. So let me get through this drive, man. We'll wrap it back up at the shop, because I need to do some errands real quick while I test drive the car, and I'll let you guys know how it went. Alright guys, as y'all can tell, we are back. Car's here. It looks freaking amazing. I just want to give you guys a little update. It drives good. It drives perfect, man. The vibration at 70 went away, so it was the wheels and tires that needed to be balanced. The brakes work awesome. You know, there's no spongy feel in there no more. They're not going to the floor anymore, so thank God for that little bottle. And those brake lines, like I said, if you guys are gonna ask for those brake lines, just don't. They're really not worth it, man. Do your research whenever you get them. It came in like a kit, and I have like 2 brake lines left over for like a 97, and they didn't work with this car. They said they were ABS lines, and they're like this small. So yeah, man, I paid like $150 for that kit, and it was just a pain in the ass, man. I finally got it to work, so that's a good thing. No more rusty lines. Now all we have to do is break in this clutch, and we need to figure out what we're gonna do about this power steering, because last thing I want is for the power steering to go out or start leaking oil all over the ground when we're racing. Juan had a good point. He was like, man, I'm glad that the brake lines went out now. Imagine if you're racing, you know, going 120, 130, and you had no brakes, so that's kind of like an eye-opener. I didn't even think about that. So yeah guys, the car is ready. All she needs to do is get broken in now. We're gonna figure out what we need to do about the power steering. Like I said, very small, you know, issue, but we're gonna get it done. The car looks freaking awesome, man. It's so dirty, but it looks freaking sweet on camera. So without further ado, man, it's your boy 4.6 Chris. We'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. I appreciate it.